welcome back to Africa 54. Why are more Americans traveling to Africa? For the answer, we turn to Africa 54's Ndimiake Mokaleli. Ndimi.
Well, thank you, Vincent. American tourists are looking at Africa more seriously now as not only a vacation destination, but also a place to do business. These are some of the trends recently discussed at an annual tourism seminar here in Washington.
Ladies and gentlemen.
The Africa Travel Association was back in Washington recently for its 7th annual U.S.-Africa Seminar on Tourism. Tour operators, airline carriers, and others interested in travel to Africa filled this conference room to learn about the trends and opportunities. Bisa Williams of the U.S. State Department says the U.S. is helping Africa build its infrastructure to attract more Americans.
Our economic initiatives in Africa are complements to our tourism industry. What we're doing in the Power Africa initiative, which is really to expand the access to electricity, increase it by 10,000 megawatts, perhaps over 20 million homes and businesses, really will, number one, give confidence to the American tourist who knows that there'll be enough lighting and security, but will also provide the energy for hotels and businesses and activities.
In addition to improved infrastructure and airline accessibility, ATA Executive Director Edward Bergman says improved perception of Africa is helping boost leisure and business travels.
More Americans are interested in Africa. They're seeing the investment opportunities in Africa. They're seeing strong growth returns. We're seeing governments increasingly following democratic processes that are respecting the rule of law, are putting in systems to encourage investment, and this all helps.
To expose tourists to Africa, ATA holds its annual congress in different African countries. This year, the venue is Uganda, which has made headlines following its ban on homosexuality. The country's ambassador to the U.S., Oliver Woneka, says this should not deter visitors.
This is an issue of culture, okay? In Uganda, if a man and a man, they are holding hands, they are holding each other, they are walking through the streets, unless they stand somewhere and they say, look here, we are gay, we are homosexuals or whatever. Nobody is bothered, you know? So everybody is welcome, nobody will be persecuted.
Bergman says as a tourist body, their aim is to promote understanding, not fuel debate.
There are many issues that are important to the world, that are important to the global community. And again, the tourism industry is one that promotes dialogue. It's an industry that gets people to get to know each other.
Woneka says there's more to Uganda than its stance on homosexuality.
We've got, I think, the most beautiful Baha'i temple on the whole continent. It's within Kampala. And we've got the nightlife. And we've got beautiful, beautiful places to go within the city.
Hoping to capitalize on tourists to the region, Tanzania's ambassador to the U.S. and Mexico, Liberata Mulamula, says her country is also worth visiting.
We have, of course, the safaris, we have the beaches, we have the ecosystem, you name it. And Tanzania is unique in its own way. You know the history of Tanzania. Tanzania has been one of the most peaceful country, democratic.
According to ATA, Africans in the diaspora and youth are key to growing tourism to Africa. African countries are urged to promote what sells best: culture and food.
When Americans travel, they want to experience what it's like to live in a country. They want to experience what it's like to be African. So you got to eat African, and therefore helping countries to market and brand their food so that in a way Westerners can appreciate it.
Now, the African Travel Association's Congress in Uganda will take place in November later this year.